I mean, you had your chance and then you blew it.
That is the most absurd statement of the year.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, baby!
I'm in my zone, I'm feeling it.
Yep.
Live from Rock Solid Studios in Granite Falls, it's time for MinneZona's Sports, live with DJ Matty C. and Paul the Shield Vold.
And this is MinneZona's Sports Live. We are back. Yes, we are back after trying to get the stream going, but now we do have it going. So we're doing good. We're doing good. We're starting up. We're restarting it. And guess what? We got plenty to talk about the over-unders. So all the way from the Woods and Shore Studios in Aiken, Minnesota, Paul Volta, Shield. How are we feeling on Super Bowl Sunday, Shield?
Well, technical difficulties aside, feeling pretty good. But hopefully should be a good game, and everything should be going good from here on out, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll leave it like that. We will leave it like that, my friend. But as Zim is cussing in the background there, it's kind of fun. But we enjoy it. We enjoy it. So, anywho, Voldy, there's a lot to go over. We got over unders for one. We got Burrow, we've got total offensive yards, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, all the guys, okay? So let's get it going, and please feel free to comment in the chat as well. We've got some cool stuff going on here. So you guys also put your over-under, and you might be in line to win maybe some stickers. Really cool stickers, by the way. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope, as we like to say here. But let's get it going, Voldy, huh? Shall we? Let's go. Let's go. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow. You go football player, Joe Burrow. So. Voldy, we have him at, so over or under 275 passing yards. Are you taking the over, or are you taking the under, my friend?
You know, from our initial conversation, I definitely want to stick with taking the over. I think if Joe Burrow's going to get it done today, a lot of those big chunk plays are going to happen with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins down the field as well. So definitely over 275 for Joe Burrow today.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to say over as well. And I said this at the beginning. It's kind of nice to know that Joe Burrow has been playing pretty well as of late. Right. The guy gets sacked. Oh, let's see. Was it the divisional round, Voldy? He gets sacked like, what was it? Like nine times? Yeah, Tennessee. 9 times against Tennessee. And also, it's crazy to me how they're still able to win that game. And it wasn't just Joe Burrow, it was their defense that came through, picking off Ryan Tannehill, I think, 3 times. But these playoffs have been interesting for the Bengals, to say the least. They get their first playoff win in X amount of years. 30 years. Yeah, thank you, 30. So, yeah, I'm going to take the over. I think Jamar Chase is going to have a big game. After that, I'd probably say, probably like T. Higgins. Yeah, T. Higgins might have some nice catches too. Tyler Boyd is kind of a sneaky guy too, so don't forget about that. So, but feel free to give us your thoughts too, Zoners. I mean, give the over under. We'll write down the names, and I'll follow the chat here for you. So it's we're moving along. We are moving along. So, all right. So moving on to our next one, Voldy, Matthew Stafford. Over or under 275, 200, or gosh, my controls are not working. All right, over or under 275 passing yards for Matt Stafford. What do you got?
275. Yeah, I'll take the under, but not by much. I think that there's going to be enough there for Stafford to be able to connect with some guys, but obviously I think they have a little bit more to offer in the running game than they have relied on or haven't been able to rely upon extensively. I know that they got Cam Akers back in the championship game as well. How effective is he going to be? They got Sony Michel as well. They had Darrell Henderson at the beginning of the year. Obviously, he's been out for a good stretch of the year too. But you know what? I'm going to take the under on Stafford at 275.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under as well. And the reason why I'm taking the under is because the Bengals defense, they're no slouch. Now, let's not forget that in the conference championship game, Voldy, the Kansas City Chiefs, they were in the first half about to literally blow out the Bengals.
Yeah.
But the second half adjustments that they made is almost unheard of. And the reason why I say that is because they didn't, people would think, oh, we got to get pressure on Mahomes. No, they just sat back in coverage. They had almost everybody out in coverage. And you never do that with Patrick Mahomes. You never do that.
The reverse psychology again.
Yeah. And gosh, that is so smart. We kind of look at that and think, well, shoot, how is that working for everybody else? So, I'm feeling pretty confident about the Bengals defense, holding Stafford to under 275 yards. So, we'll see. But I'm going to take the under. So, all right, let's stick with the Rams. Okay, total offensive yards. Okay, do we go over, under 350 for the Rams? Voldy, what do you got?
Give me the over on 350 for the Rams. I just think, obviously, with the way that they have been connecting, I think Odell's going to have a big day, too. I just think for some reason him seeing more, obviously they got him at the right time in the season for him to get comfortable. He's now starting to hit his full stride with the last couple of games in the postseason, and him and Matthew Stafford getting connected as well. Cooper Kupp, obviously, the year that he's had. And you throw in the fact that they've got a running game to mix in as well. It's hard not to take the over on 350 with the Rams.
Yeah, they have the weapons to do it, and the reason why is because they have OBJ, they have Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp has literally been unguardable, and I'm not kidding. I mean, he has literally been unguardable for the Los Angeles Rams. And you got to give the guy his – he won Offensive Player of the Year, deservedly so. The amount of work that he's put in, especially this season, we knew he was good, but we didn't know he was that good. And he absolutely killed it, man. I mean, he did a great job. He's done a great job, and it's crazy. Without Robert Woods, you bring in OBJ. Van Jefferson has had a pretty solid season as well. They got rid of Deshaun Jackson too, so don't forget that Deshaun Jackson is now not with the LA Rams anymore. And they made the changes, and then they go out and they get Von Miller and pair him with Aaron Donald. So it's looking pretty good for the Rams. But yeah, I'm going to take the under. I'm going to go 300. Okay. I'm going to go 300 around there. So I'm going to take the under. We'll see what happens. So, and then like I said to like I say to the zoners, please let us know your over-unders. I posted it in the chat on your thoughts on who's going to get what. It'll be fun, guys. It'll be fun. So, all right, our next one, obviously, the Bengals. Offensive yards. Over, under, offensive yards for the Bengals. Voldy, what do you got?
I'm taking the under on the Bengals. Okay. At 350. It's definitely going to be under. Definitely see it over 300, but I think it'll just be under. Okay.
Just be under. All right, I'll take that. It's I think that's a bold one there, Voldy. But you know what? Mm-hmm. I'm taking the over. I'm gambling, man. I'm taking the dice and I'm rolling it, and we're going to see what happens here. I'm feeling pretty good about it. The reason why is because I think Joe Mixon's going to have a good game. I really do. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. They know about their offensive line. Their offensive line isn't the greatest. Now, let's be honest. Riley Reef. That's all I got to say. Riley Reef. Thank God he's at right tackle, not left tackle, because Joe Burrow would be in some trouble. So, not good. Let's see. Easy A says he's taking the under on the Bengals.
All right.
So yeah, we'll mark it down easy. Maybe you'll want maybe you'll want a sticker after that, but we'll see. But the Bengals, I don't know. I just feel like this offense is humming along. Maybe, and I could be wrong. The Rams could absolutely destroy them today with the pass rushers, with the wide receiver, with the pass rushers with Jalen Ramsey and Eric Weddle, apparently.
Old man Weddle.
Old man Weddle Voldy. It's just, I don't know. I mean, do what you want. Do they know about the Rams D-line? LOL. Yeah, they better now with Von Miller and boys coming after them. So, all right, we will. So I'm going to take the over, and you're taking the under, right? Is that what we're going at?
Correct.
Okay. So we got that, and then our next one, Voldy, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, the offensive player of the year, over or under 100 yards today. This is a tough one, man. I mean,
it is,
because I just feel like the Bengals are going to key in on him. But Voldy, what do you think?
I wanted to say the over, but I'm gonna take the under on 100 yards for Cooper Kupp.
Okay.
Because you take away Cooper Kupp, guess who's on the other side? Odell Beckham Jr.
Yep.
I mean, that's one guy. They've got Higbee, the tight end, as well, who has been an effective player for them throughout the whole year. But I'm going to take the under on Cooper Kupp. I think they might be able to slow him down, but he'll still be effective enough.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's underappreciated, definitely. I'm taking the over. I think he's going to go over 100 yards today. I just think that, people have tried to key in on him, but they haven't been able to do it. Why that is, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to take the over. I think he's probably going to go for a $120. $120, okay. Probably a touchdown. So Cooper Kupp. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. I mean, it's nothing to where I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, why did I make that pick? And I mean, it is what it is. We'll take what we got. So I'm taking Cooper Kupp. You're taking the under or over? I'm sorry. What was it?
I'm taking the under.
Under. Okay, you're taking under. Voldy is under. I'm the over on that. Okay. All right. Let's go to defense for the Rams. Aaron Donald, Voldy, over or under? 2 sacks. What do you got?
Ooh. He hasn't been, especially in the NFC Championship game, he was held back a lot. But in the later stretches when they needed him, Aaron Donald drew a lot of attention. He was able to get pressure and able to seal up that game with that interception at the very end, help pressure that interception at the end of the NFC Championship game. 2 sacks, though, in the Super Bowl. Boy, that's a tough one. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to say a sack and a half for him.
Okay.
He's going to be in there today. I'm going to say a sack and a half for Aaron Donald.
Talk about a guy that's unblockable.
Right?
That being Aaron Donald. One thing, before I make my prediction on this, the over-under here, I really do like Von Miller in this game. I really do. He's been here before. I don't think he's really lost a step. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that guy has lost a step. And, he's been playing a little bit. He's been kind of understanding the defense, I think, most of the time here, but he's been getting pressures. The quarterbacks have been throwing it, have been getting the ball out quick. But if the Bengals are able to establish the run game, that might hamper Miller and or Donald. But Donald can be a wrecking ball in the run game, too. I mean, he can get by these Cincinnati Bengals offensive linemen. Especially you put him inside. You could even put him outside, to be honest with you. So I'd watch out for Von Miller. If they really, really key in on Aaron Donald, watch out for Von Miller, guys. I am going to say 2 sacks. Just literally right at 2 sacks. That's where I'm going to go.
Take the push.
Yeah, I'm going to take the push.
Money on the table, no table off.
Yeah. So let's be on the lookout for that, the 2 sacks. So you're saying 1.5, Voldy? I'm taking the under. All right. So Voldy is taking the under.
Not good with any of this over-under stuff, and I'm going to lose a lot of money, but so be it.
Hey, we should just bet on MinneZona hats or something with our zoners here. Exactly. So zoners, let us know what you think with Aaron Donald. So we're going to stick with the Rams again here. I just feel like a lot of people haven't been talking about this guy for a little bit. He had a costly fumble. Was it the NFC Championship game? No, it was a divisional game, right? With the divisional game. He had a couple, actually 2 costly fumbles. Cam Akers. Is he? Are we saying that Cam Akers will score the Rams' first touchdown? Are you saying yay, nay? This is not really over under, but it's more of a kind of a one of those bets being like, okay, are they going to rush it in? Are they going to throw it in? Things like that. Voldy, do you think Cam Akers will score the first Rams touchdown? And if you don't think so, let me know who is going to score the next.
Is he going to score the first touchdown? I'm going to say he is.
I think he's going to score the first touchdown. I like it.
It's probably going to be one of those where it's going to be a long drive. You nail it down inside the 5, first, second down, get inside the 2. They handed it off to him, and it's going to be one of those. I think it's going to be that kind of touchdown.
Oh boy, I like that. I do like that. My view of it is I think it's possible, but for some reason I'm going to go out on a limb here. It won't be a rushing touchdown from Cam Akers. Granted, little fun fact for you. Back when I was working at good old Sports Engine, I almost interviewed Cam Akers. I really did.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, because they have the Gridiron Circuit website, or they used to. I don't know if they still have it. And I interviewed some guys and a couple players, actually, for the website. And I was actually going to interview at the time. This was a long time ago, but it's kind of a nice little fun fact. But I wanted to throw Cam Akers some love there. But I'm going to go Van Jefferson. Catching a passing touchdown, and from Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford is going to throw it to Van Jefferson. Not OBJ, not Cooper Kupp, but I think that'll come later in the game. So, all right, I'm jumping from one thing to another, but let's finish up our over-unders here, Voldy. Bengals team total points, over or under 22.5 points. Are they going to score? Are they going to be under with the points? Or are they going to be over with the points at 22.5? What do you got?
And this is for the Bengals, right?
This is for the Bengals. Yes, correct. Yep.
I'm going to take the over.
Ooh.
I think they're going to be at.
Ooh, okay. I like that. I think, people think that this might be a low-scoring game, but I think it's very possible. It could be a very high-scoring game. But I just think these defenses have been able to adjust well and whatnot. But I don't know. But I'm taking the over, too. I'm going to take the over for the Bengals. I think they're going to be able to score. Definitely get those points. And again, I mean, you have Donald, you have Von Miller, but if you're able to use Joe Mixon today, if you're able to create some lanes and whatnot, we'll see. So, yeah, I agree with you. I'm going to take the over as well. All right, let's go to the Rams now. There's a slight typo in here, unfortunately. It's 26.5 points, but we're going to bring that down to 22.5. I'm not throwing any shade. Not throwing any shade to the Rams. Right. Don't get me wrong. Not throwing any shade. Easy A also says under 22.5 points for the Bengals. So, okay. We'll see what happens there, Easy A. I hope you're right on that. Okay. the Rams, we're going to do the same thing, 22.5, over, under, Voldy.
Over.
Okay.
Taking the over on them as well.
Okay, all right. You're just feeling that they're going to be able to get some offense going against them, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely for sure.
All right. It's a tough one, man. I'm going to take the over. The reason why I'm taking the over is I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Now, don't take these predictions and think, we can nominate Matty C for absurd statement now. No, that's not what it is. This is all prediction-based, okay? Remember when I took the Chiefs last year, Voldy, and I said that they were going to win a close one, but they didn't. You were right. You had it right. You had the Bucs winning that game, and they did.
Welcome.
So yeah, you're welcome. But I mean, like I said, just kind of shot in the dark, as we would say here. Yeah, I'm gonna take the over, but we'll make our predictions here soon. So, all right, let's move on back to who's gonna score. This person, that person, all that. Let's go with Jamar Chase. Okay, Jamar Chase, he's had some monster games, man, and he's been pretty solid wide receiver these past this whole season. I mean, he's been great. It's very similar to JJ, maybe a little bit more than JJ, but I still would take JJ in a heartbeat, just saying. Just, no bias, right? Will Jamar Chase score a touchdown today, Voldy? What do you think?
Will he score a touchdown? Yes, he will score a touchdown.
Long. Let me ask you this. A long touchdown or just like a 15, 10-yard, 5, whatever? Short one or long?
I think it'll be a long touchdown. I'll say about a 35-yard touchdown.
Okay, I like it. Yeah, let's go. 35-yarder. Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase. Coach O. I think we know Coach O is probably taking the Bengals today. I would assume. I mean, all these LSU connections is it's just crazy, but that just means they've recruited well. So, Jamar Chase. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say Jamar Chase scores a touchdown, but I'm going to go like a 14-yarder. Let's go with the 14. I'm feeling feeling something like that. I just think they're going to not have the Bengals go over the top too much. I just think he'll score in the slot, maybe a slant or something like that. They don't see it coming. But yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go that he's going to score a touchdown. I just feel like this. I wouldn't say. You know what? I'd say this is a lock. I feel this is a lock. And Voldy, I think you would agree with me too. I feel like he's going to score a touchdown. Some reason, man. I don't know. I'm going to say this one is our official lock here. So, all right. Let's move on to the running back again, Joe Mixon. Will Joe Mixon score the first Bengals touchdown? What do you got?
Score the first Bengals. I'm going to say no. I don't think he's going to score the first Bengals touchdown.
Okay.
I think he will find a way into the end zone,
Sure.
but I don't think it'll be the first one. No.
Okay. Who do you have, and what do you think?
No, it's Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. You're going to go with Jamar Chase. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go with Jamar Chase. All right. We're marking that one down. Easy A says Chase will score also at the end. There you go. I think this is going to come down to it. I'm going to say yes. Joe Mixon will score the first Bengals touchdown. I think it's going to be like a 1-yard, 2-yard a scamper. He's going to go right up the gut, touchdown. I don't know if they'll tie it or they'll take the lead, whatever. I think Joe Mixon's scoring that touchdown. Maybe he catches it through the air on a screen. Who knows? We'll see. So Bengals. So Joe Mixon. All right. Voldy, we've talked about this guy a lot. And the reason why we've talked about it is because there's been, I don't know if we want to say drama or if it's just how things are. I don't know. Easy A says Mixon will only get 50 yards. That's not a bad thing. Maybe they shut down the run. Maybe they listened to me and said, we got to shut down the run. Joe Mixon, we can't let him run all over us. So we'll see there. But, yeah. Will Odell Beckham Jr., that's the guy we're talking about. Will OBJ, your guy or our guy, He's never been on the infamous list. He's never been, but will Odell Beckham Jr. score a touchdown in today's Super Bowl? Voldy, what do you got?
I hate to say it, but yeah, he probably will.
Ooh!
He'll score a touchdown today. And getting to the point as well, yeah. I mean, it's not so much drama. It's just the situation is never quiet whenever he's in the room. There's always some kind of bad juju that kind of comes around with him. It's just the skies are always a little bit darker whenever Odell Beckham Jr. is in the locker room. But so far, from what I've heard, he's kept his nose clean in LA. And, I think he's going to find a way to. He's going to score today. I think he's going to get a touchdown today in the Super Bowl.
Well, this is, I don't know why Zim's cussing, but I got to get my commands fixed here for before next show. But interesting tidbit: Odell Beckham Jr. and his girlfriend, or I don't know if they're married or if they're engaged or not, but they're expecting their first child. Any time now. This is crazy. He might have, or what's going to happen? I mean, he's on standby, right? He is completely on standby, and claps out to OBJ and his girlfriend for their first child. I just think this is going to be so special for OBJ, and I've heard a lot of things with people saying OBJ's not this, OBJ's not that. But OBJ's actually been playing pretty well for the Rams. He just needed the right situation. The Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. I mean, we love Stefanski. Don't get me wrong, we love Stefanski. But I think the problem with the Browns was Baker. Just going to be honest on that front. And I think Odell Beckham told Von Miller, don't come to Cleveland. Don't come to Cleveland at all. So there's that to be thrown in as well. I think this is going to be special for him. Yes, I agree. I think Odell Beckham Jr., Voldy, will win or will get a touchdown. Not saying that, he'll get the touchdown. Not he'll win. Jeez, what am I doing? So, but yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. will score a touchdown in today's game. I didn't go over 100 yards under. I can't see him do it. I just think he's just going to be more of the red zone threat in this, in my opinion. So, all right, we have our guy, Jimbo. What's going on, Jimbo? So one of the QBs will have a bad game. Who is it? I say it's Joe Burrows. Okay, we'll mark that down, Jimbo. We'll mark that down. With the storyline coming into this, you got the young Joe Burrow. You have Matt Stafford, who, again, with the Lions, rough patch and whatnot. I don't necessarily think that it's going to be Joe Burrow's just going to have a tough time and whatnot. I think the Rams defense could get to him, and it could be a blowout. I don't know. But, Voldy, what do you think of Jimbo's prediction there with Burrow?
I mean, I don't see it out of the realm of possibility of it happening, too, because if the offensive line for the Bengals plays the way that they did against Tennessee, it's going to be a long day for Joe Burrow back there. It could be an ugly one as well, but if they're able to hold up, they're going to give Joe Burrow a chance, I think, because what they did from that divisional game against Tennessee into the championship game against Kansas City, night and day difference. Sure. Obviously, there was still some pressure, but the Bengals were able to pull it out in the end. They gave Joe Burrow a chance, and you give him a chance, he's gonna do his part and give his team a chance as well. So, if the offensive line is off and the Rams D line's able to come through and attack early, it's gonna be a long day for Joe Burrow in the pocket. Yeah,
no joke there. I'm gonna go to Matthew Stafford here because he's never been in this position. He's been through Detroit. He's been through all these other guys. But my thoughts on this too is with everything that has been transpiring with Matthew Stafford, he's come through. He's come through in the games against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the playoffs here. The 49ers, they lost to the 49ers twice. Third time was the charm this time for those guys. But I just, it's hard to say. But I like how Jimbo's looking at it, because if Von Miller is getting to Burrow, if Donald's getting to Burrow, it's going to be a long day, like he said. So I wouldn't say that's out of the realm of possibility, but I could also see, I'm going to say this, I could also see the shades of Matthew Stafford, Detroit Lions, bad interception type of deal. So just keep that in mind in the final seconds of the game. But if he overcomes that, all that is thrown out the window, and just shows Detroit is not a very good franchise, as we like to say. So, all right, next one here. Hey, it's Glancy. There's that guy. Stafford.
Long enough.
Yeah, Stafford has played well. He did give the 49ers a chance to turn that around, but today is the day we all see a classic Stafford game. 2 picks, 1 red zone, and a fumble. So, like I said, I just think, I guess we'll see what happens there. But I think Matthew Stafford's I think he's gonna have a good game. I just think what might hurt them is the lack of running game with Cam Akers. I just feel like their running game isn't up to par. But I do like Cam Akers. Don't get me wrong, I do like Cam Akers. So, all right. So Voldy, before we get into the rest of the Super Bowl talk here, there was some news. Obviously, the Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame class was announced. A lot of big names here, Voldy. Especially Coach Dick Vermeil. I think that one is definitely very deserving for him. And Tony Baselli, Leroy Butler, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, former Patriot for you, Voldy, Bryant Young, Cliff Branch, Art McNally, Dick Vermeil. Voldy, what are your thoughts on these guys in the Hall of Fame? And I think we talked about this before, but someone wasn't very happy of not being inducted into the Hall of Fame right away.
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the list as well. Obviously, you see guys like Leroy Butler, the inventor of the Lambeau Leap. Sure, that's a nice little feather in the cap as well. Deserving to go in. Sam Mills as well.
Yes.
God rest his soul. He's in there as well. Art McNally, he's in an advanced age. Great contributor to the game of football. Dick Vermeil, especially. I think that's been a long time coming, and finally he gets into the Hall of Fame too. Yeah, I'm starting to look at, I don't know enough about Bryant Young, Cliff Branch to say yay or nay about it. So obviously they came in. Tony Baselli, hard to fully critique a guy who played, I think it saw like 91 games in 7 seasons, 7 pro seasons as well. Mm-hmm. He played in Jacksonville. They had some really good years from 96 to 99 as well.
Yeah.
I know that he had a real serious bout with COVID a year and a half ago, so he's lucky to be alive. Richard Seymour, it feels good. That's a nice one to throw in there too with Richard Seymour. I know all of them very deserving in that category, but obviously we'll get your thoughts about the class as well.
Sure.
But there's a few guys that got left off right away that it didn't exactly win a lot of favors with a lot of people.
Right. I'll throw my thoughts, and then I want you to bring up a guy that didn't, or actually maybe even 2 guys that didn't right away. Mm-hmm. My thoughts are, I feel like, there was, with Peyton Manning, there really wasn't like a name that you're like, oh my gosh, like this is, of course, like there's no doubt about it. But,
right.
I mean, I'd probably say the one name that is a big one is Dick Vermeil. I think Dick Vermeil is definitely deserving. He's won a Super Bowl, and it's like, well, he's come up short, and it's like, it doesn't matter. The guy, pretty much, if you've seen American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story, I highly recommend, by the way. He took a chance on a guy that didn't really, was an undrafted guy. He got cut a couple times. He's working at frickin' Hy-Vee, for goodness sake. And, he took a chance on Kurt Warner, and all of a sudden, the greatest show on turf was born because Dick Vermeil took a chance with Kurt Warner after Trent Green went down. So that's probably the big one. Baselli, I think, is deserving too. In Jacksonville, it is what it is. Leroy Butler was in the league for a while. Sam Mills, I think that one was due. I think it should have been a little bit sooner than that. Richard Seymour, definitely. I mean, he was a part of those Patriots Super Bowl teams. Then he went to the Raiders. He went to the Raiders too, and that really didn't work out, did it?
No, it did not.
No, I saw it's yeah. We'll just So I would put it like that. And then Zoners, please feel free your thoughts on the guys who got into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Bryant Young, another deserving guy as well. He's especially being a great defender for the 49ers for as long as he was. And then he comeback player of the year in 1999. Suffered a broken leg, comes back. Yeah, he definitely deserves that. And then Cliff Branch. It's been such a long time. He should have been in earlier than this. I mean, he was a great wide receiver for the Raiders with John Madden. Rest in peace, John Madden, as well. But I think that one, especially Art McNally, the father of modern officiating. 24 years, 1968 to 91. It's pretty cool. All right. I think, and then obviously Dick Vermeil. He flipped around the Eagles, and remember Vince Papale, if you've seen Invincible and all that. But that Disney, the Disney movie that they put to Mark Wahlberg playing Vince Papale.
Yep.
So, that's when Dick Vermeil first started, and greatest show on turf, all that, more than deserving. All right. So congratulations to those guys. They definitely are deserving. But Voldy, you have kind of I threw this in the chat too. But what was that one guy you were talking about before the show that maybe should have gotten in first ballot?
Well, very much the same relationship Major League Baseball has with pitchers hitting. The NFL and the Hall of Fame hates special teams for some reason. Because if it takes one of the greatest kickers of all time and Mort Anderson like 15 years to get into the Hall of Fame, Devin Hester will probably be dead and buried by the time he gets in the Hall of Fame, if ever. First time he was on the ballot, he was a finalist, and he doesn't get in as the greatest kick returner of all time. I know there's a lot of argument about his position and where he was. Look, he found a position, he created it, and he made it one of the greatest of all time. He is the greatest. Most kick returns, most punt returns. First person, I can't officially say first person ever to take the opening kickoff back for a touchdown, but he did with the Bears against the Colts down in Miami. But the fact that he made a position for himself. He wasn't a corner guy. He maybe played a little receiver at times, but he was a kickoff guy. And when they kicked it to him, he put the ball in the end zone, whether it punts, whether in kick returns. And the fact that the NFL continues to deny his greatness, yes, it was his first year on the ballot, should have been his only year on the ballot as well, that he gets denied out of the Hall of Fame. It annoys me just because, like, obviously you're going to get all the naysayers talking about, oh, he didn't play every single game. Or, well, when they never kicked it to him all the time. It's like, look, even the small sample size that he did have, if Tony Baselli's getting in 91 games in 7 seasons, and with it being with a god-awful franchise that is now in Jacksonville, I'm not taking anything from Tony Baselli. How do you truly measure offensive linemen? You know,
that's a good point.
I always make that argument because I don't know. They don't touch the ball. They don't make an impact directly on the score if they put the ball in the end zone or not. It's everybody else around them that does that too. But look, there's a lot of great linemen in the NFL Hall and in the Hall of Fame too that are Hall of Famers. Why can't a guy that touches the ball maybe once or twice a game get into the Hall of Fame that holds the same merit and caliber and made the game exciting for those 10, 15 seconds when he was on the field too? That's one of the big annoyances that I have with the snubs from this year's Hall of Fame class.
Yeah. Don't forget Jared Allen, too.
Jared
Allen's another name, but we're biased, right? So, a couple things. Glance says Hester should be in first ballot. I don't know, but he deserves to be in. It is hard to get in as a kick returner, but didn't make teams he didn't make teams think twice about going for it on fourth versus punting.
Exactly.
And I'll add on to it after I finish up here. But his and then Glenn says his kick return in the Super Bowl, I still remember watching. I mean, the thing is the Bears lost that game, but everyone talks about that play, especially. I remember watching it. Yep.
With Prince.
Bingo, Voldy. Jimbo also says Cliff Branch was awesome. Smaller guy who played in the tough era. Yeah, and especially in that era, 1972. I mean, that was like the golden era of the Raiders. So with John Madden and all those guys, so more than deserving. Let's get back to Devin Hester here for my thoughts here. Devin Hester is a Vikings killer, an absolute Vikings killer. I can't tell you how many stupid decisions the Vikings made during his whole career, or during when Devin Hester was around. Why the hell are we kicking to him? Why are we kicking to him? And the thing is we didn't have the special teams to get after. I think it was the 2010 season after the whole 2009 deal, whatever. It was at TCF Bank Stadium, new TCF Bank Stadium, cold night, snow falling down. And I think, was it Cluey at the time? I can't remember. I think it was Chris Cluey at the time.
Yep.
And we decide to kick to him. We decide to kick to Devin Hester, and he took it the length of the field, and that's when we knew this team is screwed. And it's yeah, I know, idiots. And not only that, but I think he's had more than one kick return against us too. Like how it's just it just didn't make any sense to me. But I will say, he definitely deserves it. It is very, very rare that kick returners get in, but I feel like this young man should be in. Yep.
There's the play.
There's the play. There. Thank you. Bring it up there. Yep. It's just
TCF Bank.
Yeah, at old TCF Bank Stadium, and they oh my gosh. But I digress.
There he goes.
Yep. I digress. And that's when Favre literally got knocked out of the game. But
and then Joe Webb had to come.
Yes. And I mean, but Devin Hester deserves to be in it. I think he's first ballot too. Let's not forget he played for the Falcons. Do you remember that?
Yep. Finished his career at the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think you might have been with Seattle. I think, or maybe
was he?
I don't know. I'll go look it up.
We'll look it up. But the cool thing about Devin Hester is he definitely was a guy that deserves to be in as a kicker because he was a terrible wide receiver. He was a terrible wide receiver, and the guy just couldn't run routes well or anything. I remember they, I think it was this. I remember when he played for the Falcons, and he took a kick return, and it's been such a long time that he had done that, and he was able to. But yeah, he's just not a good wide receiver. So, all right, Jimbo says the Stickum Cliff War was legendary. Yes, that's what I was thinking of, and I don't know why it slipped my mind. His forearms were taped from wrist to elbow, and inside of each forearm was covered in Stickum. And now, which is now very, very illegal for people to have Stickum. So, all right, but it's still very legendary, and that's probably why they didn't want him in that. So, I don't know.
Yep.
So, what do you got?
Played for the Bears, Falcons, Ravens, and Seahawks.
Wow. I don't even remember him being on the Seahawks. He was
just a return guy, never took a kickback. So
yeah. Okay, I'll have to look up some of the stats on that too. All right, but anywho, that'll conclude that. But okay, let's get back to the Super Bowl. There are some Minnesota implications into this bowl.
There are. Yeah.
Kevin O'Connell. Now, let's start with this because there's two things I want to cover here. The first thing, if O'Connell flops, if the offense is like, I'm not saying like, dog crap bad, or anything like that, but if it's just not impressive and they lose and, Stafford throws a couple picks and fumbles and all that, are we should we be concerned if this doesn't go well for Kevin O'Connell? What do you got, Voldy? And Zoners, please.
Am I concerned? Yes and no. I think I'm a little concerned because if they don't come to play, because like at the end of the day, it's Sean McVay's offense, and
sure.
I don't want to say that O'Connell's a bit of a placeholder and everything, but I'm sure there's enough involvement to there where there can be, hey, maybe we should go with this idea, or like getting guys in the right spots, knowing the right players to put in certain situations too. But all that is that game management type stuff. That's a whole different ball game that I don't know if he has any experience to begin with. So there is a lot to go with that too. I'm a little bit concerned, but not overly to the point like, yeah, no, we're not going to hire you.
Right. Yeah, I'm not either. And I think a lot of people kind of look at this and say, it's going to be under the microscope. I mean, let's be honest. It's going to be under the microscope. And he's going to be, like, oh, he should have called that. Let's just enjoy the game and then see what happens. Now, if they won the Super Bowl, I think we're singing his praises right away. But let's be careful because, Voldy, I think you said it best before we got onto the show here. You said until, and I'm paraphrasing here, until he signs, he puts ink to paper, then we can be good with O'Connell, because there was an article that ESPN and interview put together with Sean McVay. Mm-hmm. He might take some time off after this. So if the Rams go, well, Kevin, you want to stay with us and keep everything intact and whatnot, that could not bode well for the Vikings. So, Voldy, what are your thoughts on that potential? I'm not saying it's going to happen or anything, but that could be a stake in the heart of some of these Vikings fans, especially with how that whole Harbaugh thing went down. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I'm just, when I first heard that they were going to go after Kevin O'Connell, it's like, okay, now you got to wait, 4 or 5 more weeks till you can actually get him to sign. A lot can happen in that time frame. He could change his mind. He could, decide to stay with the Rams. He could walk out the front door and drop dead for all we know. And everybody is putting so much into this. Like when they heard the announcement that the Vikings were going to sign Kevin O'Connell, it's like, you can't do anything with that. He hasn't signed a contract. Like, everybody's putting all their eggs in their basket. I'm just like, no, this is not happening. It's not a thing. Don't try and make it a thing until he actually signs the paperwork. And, like, you throw that in there, too, obviously with reports that McVay could step down, like if O'Connell is going to leave and go with the Vikings, then probably next man up, I would certainly hope be Raheem Morris. I think he deserves another head coaching opportunity after, what he's turned around in recent years with whatever staff that he's been on. He was with Atlanta, I think it was last year or the year before that, then being with the Rams this season too, and help build up that defense with a couple more guys to help solidify their playmaking ability on the defensive side. I'd like to see Raheem Morris as head coach again. Him being in Tampa, obviously you throw in Tampa being what Tampa was at the time. You take that with a big old grain of salt, and you shouldn't take anything away from his coaching ability. But if O'Connell's going to leave, then I would assume that Raheem Morris is going to step up to be that head coach interim in waiting. I don't know what that situation would be with McVay, if he's just going to resign or if he's just going to step away and basically be the placeholder until McVay comes back or not. But if it does turn out to be that O'Connell's going to take the head job and, Raheem Morris is going to be maybe the next guy to be, associate head coach or whatever, if he's going to remain as defensive coordinator, that would help O'Connell in some of that game management type stuff, a lot of the stuff that he hasn't done in situations that head coaches need to be aware of and how to be fully in tune with the whole team as opposed to the offense. It could work out. But then again, at the end of the day, the Vikings would get screwed, and they're out a guy that they wanted to be, and they're back at square one with a GM but no head coach. So those are my kind of thoughts with that.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily disagree. I just think if they're going all in with him, because let's not forget, Andre Patterson's gone. Adam Zimmer's gone. Not saying that they would be head coach or anything. Kubiak's gone. Right. All of those guys have moved on, besides Keenan McCardell, which I'm very happy that the players were able to convince the front office and ownership to keep him around, because I think it's the growth of this guy, JJ. So Thielen and whatnot. But I look at this and I say, okay, with all these guys playing, they're definitely all in on O'Connell. It's that simple. But I think with this news coming out, with McVay and whatnot, you kind of in the back of your mind think, are we gonna get screwed over here if he retires? And the Rams go to him and say, "You're ours." I don't know. So it's something to watch. It's definitely something to watch these next couple days, and I'm sure, hopefully by Wednesday when we're back on episode 98. That things will turn out well and the Vikings have their coach at that time. I don't know if it's going to be right after, because I think he's going to enjoy the victory a little bit. If they win.
If they win, I would assume that, obviously maybe Monday or Tuesday that there would be the press conference to take place. But, again, still a long ways away from that happening.
Exactly. All right. With that being said, speaking of that, it's time for our predictions. Foldy.
All right.
Now, you took the Rams, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
You took the Rams earlier in the week. Now, before I ask you, you give your winner, but also give the score that you think. And, if it's right, great. If it's not, no worries. With you wearing that Bengals jersey, have you changed your mind? Are you now going with the Cincinnati Bengals winning Super Bowl 56?
No.
Oh, wow.
The Rams jersey. This is the only one that I got to represent, I don't even have a Rams or Bengals hat, so I just thought, support the brand and everything.
Sure.
So I'm going with the Rams as the champions as well. Score is going to be 30-24 Rams. That's what I'm going to put as my final score for the Rams to lift the Lombardi Trophy.
30-24 Rams. My cousin is probably singing your praises right about now. He's a big Rams fan. So he's fan. So 30-24, right? Is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay.
All day.
All right, Rams. Okay. Well, last year, we both had different. We both picked different teams.
Yep.
And I think this is kind of a similar situation. And I did say earlier in the week that I was going to take the Cincinnati Bengals. I felt at the time that these guys are young. They're on a roll. They've found ways to win games. And Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr, Joe Cool, whatever you want to call him, the guy has the right mindset. He has a really good mindset of knowing how big this is. He's played a national championship. He's played in big games. And he's come through every step of the way. Will it happen today? Maybe. We'll see. But let's go to the Rams here for a second. Matthew Stafford, guy that needed, or that is in Detroit, not much experience in the playoffs. And he goes to the Rams, or he gets traded to the Rams, and all of a sudden he's already in the Super Bowl with a different team.
Yep.
Damn. That's all I got to say.
Right.
But let's not forget, Voldy, that this Rams team was all in when they traded for Von Miller, when they got OBJ. Robert Woods, unfortunately went down, but again, he's a key part to the Rams' success too. So let's not forget that. Now the defense is definitely something to factor in here. Jalen Ramsey, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about Jalen Ramsey, which I think you should, because I think he could. They're going to throw him on Chase, and we'll see that battle and see how that goes. So there's all these storylines. Jamar Chase, the 3 wide receivers. I think this is going to be very similar to that Tampa Bay Buccaneers game with the Rams. Now, I feel like the Rams are going to jump out to an early, not as big of a lead as they were against the Buccaneers, but I think they'll have a lead, maybe 14, 10-point lead. But for some reason, I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to come back. They're going to come back and tie it up, and it's going to come down to, late in the game here, it's going to come down to a couple plays, and I think, the Rams defense will come out and, come after Burrow here. But if you're getting sacked 9 times against the Tennessee Titans and everything like that, that's hard to overcome, but they did it. So, I am going with the Cincinnati Bengals. They are going to win today. I'm going with the Bengals, man. The reason why I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals is because the swagger that they have coming into this and how they've been playing in the playoffs, finding ways to win. I think they are going to find a way to win today. This is my score, Voldy. 28-24 Bengals. Okay. Joe Cool, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, you good football player. Yeah. It's shocking to you, isn't it? Isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know where to take it from there, but wow.
Yeah.
That's a bold prediction. I like it.
Okay. Well, if you like it, that's good. Is this more surprising than the Tampa Kansas City one, or what do you think?
I think that was writing was on the wall for that one. I think you can have all the swagger in the world until you get punched in the mouth.
True.
That's what happened to Kansas City last year. They got punched in the mouth, and then they stayed down the rest of the game. So Same thing could happen today with Cincinnati. They have all the swagger coming in, but again, and then you get punched in the mouth. Everybody's got a game plan to get punched in the face. Usually, like any sort of combat fight that happens, it's like, all right, now what do I do? It's like, I need to go punch that guy back, basically. So go from there.
So basically, you're taking the Mike Tyson approach, is how you're thinking it, and that's fine. I like it. We got to be different somehow, Voldy. But I think I wouldn't be so. Honestly, I'm fine with either team, and I said this last year too. I mean, it's not like the Packers are in it. It's not like the Aints are in it or anything like that. We've steered clear. So, but let us know your predictions as well, zoners. Team score, all that fun stuff. But the second annual Super Bowl special has concluded. Voldy, great job. As always, we fought through the technical difficulties, but hey, we got the show off and running, and we had it live, and people chimed in, and so it's time to get to the game. Let's have a good time. Let's also, enjoy your food too. Enjoy your food, and time with family. You have fun with Case, with Sarah, and we'll be tweeting some stuff too, so there'll be that, and we'll see how many people get right on over and under. So myself, Voldy, zoners as well. So it should be fun. It's going to be a fun game. I really think so. Last year was kind of more, I wouldn't say a blowout, but it was kind of more dominated by Tampa Bay. But I think this one's going to. Yeah, I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did as well. So, but we will have all the results and all the fun stuff on Wednesday, because we'll be back Wednesday at 7 p.m. here on YouTube Live. It's crazy. I can't believe we've gone an hour here, and we've had a lot of fun with it. So it's we'll see what happens. So you guys enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll be putting out content and things like that. And as always, remember, folks, keep in the zone.
Holla.
Thank you for watching MinneZona's Sports Live. Join us Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for live show broadcast. And as Voldy likes to say, follow us on all the socials medias.